Yes. Be Smooth, my man, aka Coleridge the Great. How you feeling, Bri?
Nervous,
Yeah.
but excited, curious, and prepared slash unprepared.
Sure.
Uh,
I mean, as
I feel,
prepared as one can be.
yeah. Well, it's kind of an interesting thing. I think I put you up against the wall. I created a character that's not really clear on what he wants, except for that he's sowing chaos.
Yeah. That he is.
But he's also finding himself. He's not really able to separate, figuring out how to separate himself. He's always a two-man team, so it's new.
Forgot about that. Yeah. Your backstory seriously is like perfection.
Yeah,
No, dude. It will come when it comes. You know what I mean?
I guess so.
Yeah, the seeds of chaos are absolutely there. That is very evident. That is apparent. I think, make you roll about 25 deception checks last session that I DM'd. So I guess both apologies and thank you.
No, that's okay.
Because I love that shit.
Maybe there should be something. This would be too hard to track in Dungeons and Dragons, but the more checks you roll, like you just start getting better at.
Yeah, totally. Like if you have to make 5 checks on the same skill within an hour, like you get a +1.
Yeah, +1 for the day.
Unless it's a strength check, then it goes the opposite way.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that.
My arms are always tired.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I grow stronger with my squats. That's
I
exactly
cannot
right.
walk. Your speed is reduced by 15.
Well, this was kind of a first for both of us. I mean, first off, thanks for joining us. We love you. Happy Thursday.
Yeah.
Hope you're alive and thriving out there. I have a client that's coming to pick up an external hard drive at some point during the course of this stream. So they have the keypad entry, but I say that because Brave Marlos, my dog, is going to lose his goddamn mind. So hopefully that
Mailman is picking up a package.
Yeah, I mean that would be more appropriate. Marley's like, it's an intruder. But yeah, dude, I love what we've been doing. We homebrewed a world. We're DMing it for each other. We switch off each week, and Brian's playing now a level 2 warlock, Pact of the Chain. Is that correct?
I choose a pact in 3rd level.
Okay, well, I hope you've been thinking about it.
But yeah, I will be Pact of the Chain.
You're
yeah.
close. Okay, sick. I'm
He's a lonely man.
Yeah, exactly. Chain me to something.
Yeah.
In whenever we flip it, like next week, for example, and Brian will be doing part 4 of the campaign. He's DMing set in the same world in which I'm a player. I play a level 2 divination wizard. And my point is that running a solo campaign for a wizard and for a warlock is kind of like bowling with glass. Like you kind of, there's just like an unbelievable amount of caution and care.
Yeah. Well, it takes a lot because I mean, we've been there. We've both kind of run these campaigns that have gone on for a number of years, and there are certain weeks where you're just gonna throw an encounter.
Well, right. Well, there's sometimes like the combat meter goes off. You're like, okay, it's been too freaking long. Like we have to go, and it has to be now.
Yeah. But like you can't really challenge either one of us to that much. I mean, you can. It's just hard. Like that's not really where we've built our characters to succeed, and that's a problem.
Well,
so maybe,
you know what? It's just we're doing it our own way. Everyone wants to hack and slash. We're trying to caress, or in my case, identify, and then move on. Right? Safely move through. Brian, I'm just putting this stream up on the Insta real quick.
Okay. Yeah, it's been while you're doing that, I'll just kind of wax poetic about. I think you were doing these just as a trial experiment, and definitely I think D&D, the more when you have a larger group, the group dynamic is so interesting. But what has been great about this, I think it's fleshed out this world that we slapped together.
Exactly.
Exactly,
dude.
And so it's almost like we're doing session 0s for the world that we created.
Yeah, I completely agreed. And it's also been fun to sort of like be on the DM side of that and on the player side of that, because you'll clearly be describing something that I, John, am familiar with the roots on, but like you've colored it way more specifically and like rooted it into the world, and so then it's almost like I kind of know a little bit of it, but then the specifics are a mystery to me, you know, which is like very cool. I mean, like, you know, and honestly just like plays into a lot of, you know, Strahd or like high fantasy campaigns where, you know, there's a certain amount of expectation of like a dragon has a hoard of gold, you know, like an old woman in a dungeon is a threat, you know, like these like these kinds of things, you know what I mean? Okay, well, let's just get down to it, man, because I'm really excited to play some D&D.
Yeah.
So let us
get in there and roll some deception checks.
Yeah, exactly. Good point. Get your dice out, roll it up. I'm gonna pull mine out as well.
I have my.
I'm going to be rolling with Madra's dice today, so...
Oh, okay.
You can make your own opinion of that. Choosing the black dice, not the white one, so you're fucked.
I'm rolling with Strahd's.
Oh, God. Don't. I'm like, okay, session over, dude. Oh, my God. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. We are about to dive into Episode 4, Part 1 of the New Moon Chronicles. So... when we last left Coleridge, he was sitting, perhaps nervously, within one of the fine drawing rooms of the mansion house of Lord Derek Chalamet, the Lord Protector of the city of Ukalan. And as the day had sort of seen itself moving from sunrise to now the late afternoon, we found Coleridge moving through many different intentions, but also many different identities. And at this moment has disguised himself as a young page boy named Jimmy. You had left, you know, the Temple of Requel after lifting the journal of Father Gershki and using that to compare notes against a list of names that you had found during that scuffle in the menagerie. Now, this list contained notable names, some of which you knew, Goldenfield, Backbrook, but contained some that you didn't, like Yellowfack. And as you were sort of surreptitiously fishing out this information, not wanting to reveal the why, but interested in the what, you found yourself in the markets of Ukalan and faced with Rosie and her very overbearing mother, who had both been with you the night before in the menagerie. Now, Rosie seemed quite shaken. She could tell that Ty had been hurt. He seemed to be sort of redirecting his frustration towards her. And in the opinion of the mother, this seemed to be standing in the way of potential future nuptials or financial security. And you offered Rosie, if she could make it so, to fetch Ty and bring him later that evening to the alleyway beside a room or an eating establishment known as the Curtained Room. You then pressed to the house of the Lord Protector. You entered through an unlocked back door. You were come upon by a maid, who then called out to the other maid, and they both sort of saw you. And you informed them that you were there fetching berries on an errand. You collected some blueberries. You departed. And about 800 feet down the road, you ran into the Lord Protector himself, riding back to his mansion. And astride him, also aback a horse, was a very strange elven man. Widow's peak, very tightly cropped white hair. And you came to find him to be known as the Forgekeeper, a man by the name of Seylan, who had very much an interest in both the letter that you had written and styled to be from Lord Backbrook, but is well interested in your tale of the refiners and of other denizens of Ukalan's interest in them. So we'd picked up with this man, Seylan, offering you quite a bit of gold and perhaps a little bit of protection from any, admonishments that might come from lying to a Forgekeeper, if you could sneak him aboard Lord Backbrook's ship. He seemed to want to tell you more, to be in sort of trusted conference, almost like two people at a poker table that don't trust each other but are enjoying their company, when Lord Derek re-entered the fold. And that's where we'll pick up today, with Lord Derek entering his own sort of lounge area. Well, I want to have you two keeping secrets in here. Sheena has been kind enough to whip up a very delicious lamb stew. I was hoping that we could all perhaps have lunch, maybe even in the garden.
Oh, well, I'm kind of executive company for a guy like me, so I thought I would just take that gold piece and see myself out.
Oh, nonsense. I know you were doing this because you were trying to have yourself something to eat. It'll save you the coin. Sheena! Sort of calls out. You hear a voice from the back.
Oh, well, if you're insistent.
Of course, I myself would like to step outside. We could go for a spot to eat. Lead on, Lord Chalamet.
Oh, there's some good places around here, too. If the lamb stew's not very good, I think there's, like, sausages near the market.
The lamb stew will be excellent.
Oh, all right.
Come. He's sort of, Lord Derek, it's a very sort of tall man. He sort of pushes back on the actual swinging doors outside the lounge back into the main area, and bids you follow him.
I follow. I'm keeping my eyes as the what's his face? Sheenan, Master Seylan.
Seylan, yeah, he is.
Seylan.
Okay. And as you sort of walk out, he steps behind you, and you can hear your footsteps reverberating in this very large kind of antechamber. You see a staircase that spreads up to a second story, and you can see the wisps of it going up actually to a third. But as you walk through this area, you see fine living rooms on either side, what appears to be either a den or a study of some kind. And about 40 feet away and closing is the back end of the house that is more or less an entire wall of French windows. As you step in, you see Sheena, the maid you'd spoken to, about 30 minutes prior, who's sort of, putting things up onto the tray and sort of looks up and sees you and looks down and sees you. And Lord Derek pays this no mind, as does the Forgekeeper Seylan. And they go. And again, Lord Derek sort of opens this door, twisting the handle and pushing this glass backwards, leading you to a very manicured backyard. Not that big. It's probably 200 feet by 80 feet, but extremely well kept. You see a lot of kind of deep, what we would think of as tropical bushes and plants, birds of paradise and palms. But a lot of these are sort of bevied and styled in such a way that they create the absence of sight lines. As you move through it, it's not quite like a maze, but it feels extremely secluded, private.
Okay. I'm gonna look for, if I was to run.
Sure, fair question.
Does it look like I have to go back through the house, or are there exits kind of through the garden and such?
Totally, great question. There is no clean exit from the. Sorry, let me just see if I can drop this down. Great, there it is. There is no clean exit from the actual backyard. I would say though that what walls it are hedges. So there's a part of you that's I can make it through a hedge, right?
I can just run right through that.
Exactly. Now, obviously, the threat would be, is there a fence on the other side?
There may be.
Now, back through the house, you do know the way out. It's kind of a straight shot. You can't see around the actual sides of it, so you're not really sure there. So right now, it feels
it won't be needed.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a little bit limited. But, where there's a will, there's certainly a way. And where there are legs, then there's someone to be carried. So you're led that way, and as you do, you kind of twist around a corner and then around another, and the smell hits you first. It reminds you of being in the greenhouse of the Backbrooks. Extremely floral. Sweet smelling, almost overwhelming with the surprise and the pungency, but it's pleasant. And as you look about, give me a nature check.
Nature? Oh, starting off well. Coleridge reintroduces himself to this world with a 3.
Yeah, that's right, baby. So you're kind of caught between fight and flight a little bit. I think you're aware of the power of the Forgekeeper. You got the sense at the end of some of the exchanges of last session that he didn't really believe everything you'd had to say. It appeared that Lord Derek did, but now you're maybe not certain of that. So perhaps in this haste, you're really unable to put it together. But it is a very beautiful and colorful garden.
Do I know he's called the Forgekeeper? Would that have been used?
I think that it had been.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it had been. Yeah.
Very cool.
And yeah.
Well, man, Forgekeeper, that's a job. All the forges, like blacksmithing, like there's a few.
Oh, it is a title, but not a vocation. The forge that we keep is the fire beneath all of humanity. It flames it up, brings the blinding heat of refinement.
Refinement?
Yeah.
Like, well, on people?
And you're a half-elf, right? No, you're human.
No, I'm human.
Cool.
Yeah. So I can make myself a half-elf.
Yeah.
I was like begin to just like kind of poke out.
Yeah, you're like, let me just think about it.
You get less tips as a half-elf because they think you're rich. I don't know. Anyway.
No, and Jimmy is also like a human page boy.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. I assume most of the people, I bet dwarves and then the elves were all of these refiners and such. So I think I've gone around as the humans kind of seem to be of all classes.
100%. So, you knew the Golden Fields were dwarves for the most part. But the Backbrooks, for example, are humans. And
yes.
And most of the elves you've seen have been these refiners or this man Seylan. It is worth noting that Lord Derek is a half elf. He appears to be human and elven.
Okay.
And,
Lord Derek is a half elf.
And yes, but as you sort of say, ask him this, you see Lord Derek kind of brushing some leaves off of this iron wrought table and going to another section and pulling an extra chair to make it 3. And he's very much like in host mode and also very much in the mode of a man who has everything done by someone else, right? Like it took him a while to even like find the place. He's looking around, making sure that it's good, it's in the right place. You can see he has an air of like, oh, wow, I've never seen some of these flowers in bloom.
I think at any point that Jimmy sees, or that Coleridge sees as Jimmy, he would try to like help, because he's like playing the servant too. Sure. So he sees him doing this. He like grabs a chair and like sweeps off.
Yeah. Well,
this is a good one.
You kind of take it from him and like go the rest of the difference and set it down. Already seated is Seylan, and he continues speaking. It is the refinement of all of Lucedahn. Perhaps the first fires that brought this world to be. But things change around us, and thus the need for us to enter the field has come.
Yeah. So when you refine people, what do you take out of them to make them like pure? Are you trying to take like so sometimes? All right, I sleep in when I'm not supposed to. So if you refined me, would I lose that?
He's got the lay of it now, Seylan. See, I wonder these same things. What is left? And sort of chuckling ruefully is this elven man. It is not about what we take, but rather what we add. That is the difference. Ooh. You see, and as he does, Sheila kind of comes bumping around the corner. Okay, masters, I
this is gonna be a good stew. I smelt it as we were coming in, and now I got invited in the backyard to eat some stew. Wow! Did you make it?
Yeah, I did. And she's right, and you're right there with it. Jimmy / Coleridge. She's stunned to see you. She sort of, but isn't really her place to say. She's setting these bowls out. Yeah, I'm glad you get to taste it. I guess. Excuse me, sir, but
And I think it's so nice that Lord Derek here lets you talk to his guests like this. Like it's an open household. That's nice.
And you see this. And you see this as she's about to be like, the berry runner, sir? He's like, that will be enough, Sheena. That's quite enough. Thank you. And as she sort of like, kind of sees this, doesn't know what to make of it, and like truly is stunned, but absolutely well played in that scenario by you, Coleridge. She sort of curtsies and takes this now empty tray with you. And as she sort of goes the 50, 60 feet around the corner, you hear Lord Derek say, she's a good girl, but she is a bit forward, a bit untold. I mean, come in, make a remark about the weather, drop off the stew and leave, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah, well.
Anyway. We shall eat.
That's what I was taught. That's what I was taught. You guys asked me here. I would have never assumed.
Well,
but now, can I sit?
And you see, like, he's seated and Seylan's seated, and Seylan sort of smiles at this, and Derek's like, no, that's part of what I like about the boy. Yes, you may. Please. Be at peace, Jimmy. You are as amongst friends and equals.
All right. I sit down and like go, ooh. And I just start scarfing down the soup.
I'm celebrating today. Well, one of my mining vessels was waylaid south of Talbot's Pass. They were coming back near, what's the city? Kisher, yes, and they'd almost made it into port from Televet, but some sort of beast, it sounded like almost the sea itself, was trying to stand in their way. Now, you have to understand, of course, and he sort of turns his attention from you to Seylan, merchants have a way of lying, of stretching the truth, you know? They'll say there was a storm and they had to throw some of the porcelain overboard, but what they really did was sell it and keep the coin. I have no proof. I just suspect, you see.
I wouldn't doubt it. You see it all the time.
I have no experience with merchants, sir. But this Forgekeeper assures me that things are changing here in Lucedahn. Sounds like even the tides themselves begin to swell. That, to me, is an opportunity for money-making. Should you tell him or should I? And he looks, Seylan sort of like, well, I think rather, Lord Protector, we should enjoy the lunch. And let us see what comes of our need. And our need to express it to others. Yeah. Oh, all right. Close to the chest. Then we'll do it your way. And he begins eating as well. And,
it's been my experience that, well, when you lords do well, us pages do pretty well as well, you know? Look at that. I just delivered a letter from a strange person. I'm still haven't gotten my gold, but I'm sure I'll get it. And but I'm eating stew in their backyard.
No. He did. He gave you the gold, and then he gave you 2 additional gold. Like one was for your honesty, and then the other was for your quote unquote discretion. I remember.
I was just doing a discretion bit and didn't write down the.
No, exactly. I was about to say the discretion bit was hilarious and played, and that's why you're like having lunch with him right now. But yeah, and obviously I'm more just mean like just so you know that.
I'll skip that little
cool.
slight then.
And yes, I didn't get a chance to see that letter. Could I? And you see just the briefest hesitation from this Forgekeeper before he opens it, and still folded, hands it to Lord Derek, who unfolds it. To the keeper of this letter, if you're still looking for noble blood, meet me here. B. Noble blood. What, who would be looking for noble blood and why? He looks to Seylan, who shrugs.
Well, pages. You know, we got to deliver a lot of stuff to noble blood. I didn't read the letter, but, you know, I was looking for you. You're noble.
I see.
And I'm assuming you're noble. Be a Forgekeeper. I don't think you can just, like, you know, rise from page to Forgekeeper. You probably started off as a keeper of something else.
Now, you see there's sort of a tight smile from this elf, who doesn't really quite respond, and there's a moment where you're like, is he going to? When Lord Derek, who hasn't really been listening, comes in. Now, who would want, and why would they? Well, let me ask you, Jimmy, if I wrote a letter in response, would you know where to take it? Could you put me in touch with this individual?
Oh, I think so. I didn't get a name, but I know what he looks like. Might take me a couple hours, but I could do it.
Well, I'd want to meet with him. Is that something you think that this person would be open to?
Oh, yeah.
Very well.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, should be. Who wouldn't want to meet with you? What did the letter say?
Don't concern yourself with what it said.
All right. Well, I might help, but all right, I understand. I don't need
it concerns nobility and lineage.
I don't need to know anything.
Well, the bee makes me wonder if it's the blizzards or perhaps the Backbrooks, because I'm not sure who else would be able to supply such information. Again, Lord Protector, do not trouble yourself with such things. Let us enjoy the lunch, and after which I will walk with the boy. Help deliver this letter and see whatever ends we'll put forward by it, yeah? Well, if you like, I do have much to prepare for before sending another ship out of port tomorrow. Well, fine. It shall be as you say. I do have papers to answer. I'll tell you what, have a walkabout, and then... Well, I'd like to hear personally. And you, Jimmy, if this meeting can be arranged, I want you to come back and let me or one of my housekeepers know. Ideally, they can come and meet me here, or I meet them somewhere, but I want to meet them face to face.
Yeah, I'll walk them straight to your door.
All right, that's good to hear. And
if I do a good job, you think, I mean, I usually just do a job by job, but, if you need someone who's trustworthy and discretion.
Let me ask you something. And he takes the sheet of paper and flips it over and begins writing on the back of it.
Okay.
And then you see him, he's kind of trying to protect it, and you see him slide this now over to the to Seylan. Yeah, write something for me, nothing trivial. Repeat what I wrote, just write it in your own hand. Don't let the boy see. And sort of perhaps suspecting the inkling, you see again a tight smile barely move and not quite reach the eyes of this widow-peaked Forgekeeper. As he takes the pencil up and stretches the graphite across the paper. Ah, perfect, lovely. He takes it and sort of spins it around a couple times and pushes it to you. Now what I want to know, Jimmy, is which hand is mine and which hand is Seylan's. And if you wouldn't mind, give me, I think because of, you use, do you have a forgery kit, or am I making that up?
Yeah, I'm very proficient in it.
I thought so, yeah. So give me a charisma check and add your proficiency bonus. That's how we'll treat the forgery kit.
Okay. Now, the question is whose handwriting is whose?
Right.
Now, is one of the handwritings underneath the others?
Yeah. Yeah, you do see.
What is it?
You do see, both were kind of, written in the center. One is, they're pretty close together, but yes, one is on top of the other for sure.
Okay. I got an 11.
Got an 11? Okay.
And I know, and neither one of them were left-handed, right?
Neither were left-handed.
Okay.
So with an 11, unfortunately, you don't know cleanly.
I can still make a guess.
Yeah, exactly. So is it top or bottom?
Yeah. I don't know. You know what? Usually, when someone tells me to not look, I look a little bit. But I didn't look. Now I feel like I should have. Oh. But I'm going to say that this one here on the bottom is yours, Lord Derek, and this one on the top is yours, Master.
You see what I tell you? You've got a stomach on you, boy. You know how to find a situation and get into it. I did the same. A lot of people know this, but I never took a wife, and subsequently no children, because I myself came up, on my own. Yes, I think. No, don't be. It made me what I am. I like your ability to understand things and moments. I would like to know what response is given. Come inside before you leave, and I'll have a letter for you to deliver.
Well, which one was it? Was I right?
You were. I tried to leave a little space on the top to throw you off. Did you know that? I did. That's why I wrote on the top to try to make it harder. Yeah, see, it's exactly what I was hoping. Well, that's more than proof.
But you both have excellent penmanship. Cursive's tough to read.
Sheena! You see, about 35 seconds later, Sheena kind of pokes around one of the hedges. Yeah? We're done here. Are you guys done? And, like, you're, like, not at all done, Coleridge. Or, I mean, you done me, but, like, you know what I mean? It's like one of the things where, like, he's done. And has been done for about 20 seconds.
Yeah, no, I feel like I've been eating as quickly as possible.
Okay, yeah. You definitely started off shuffling.
Just to kind of, as part of the illusion.
Of course, the urchin. No, totally.
Also, the horrible food at the abbey with the...
A lot of beans and a lot of toast, my friend. Yes.
Yeah. And like Coleridge just had meat in a very long time. So.
Okay. So Sheena comes over and again is like kind of looking at you wide-eyed and then eyes down and sort of just bobs sort of a mild curtsy and begins setting these bowls onto the tray and leading out. Well, gentlemen, shall we? At your leisure, Lord Protector. I would ask only that you think upon my offer, especially before your ship sees the sea tomorrow morning. I know it's just hard for me to commit to such things. I'm not politically minded like that, you know. Of course, just consider the advantages. Yeah. They begin walking. I presume you walk with them, and again, Lord Derek gets there first. And anything you'd like to do in this sequence, of course, let me know. Cool.
As we're getting up, I just want to try to take that sample of writing with me.
Okay, sure. Yeah, make a sleight of hand check.
Well, I'm just gonna check this die because it seems to only roll 3s. Sleight of hand would be an 8.
Got it. I'll keep that, just in case I have need of it.
Put away for you?
No, I want to consider its wording as I pen my own response. Come. And he walks up again to the door and opens it for you. And I mean, like, you've moved now from the backyard to this sort of like, loose but like well-stoned kind of exterior courtyard. And now through the back door that's largely just this glass window. And on either side, like, one is this kind of wide kind of living room, kind of social area. And the other kind of leads into this open kitchen that has a pantry that runs the length of it. And again, as he opens it, like, you're first to walk in. And you see kind of like looking up from kneading dough is now Martha. What the hell? Sort of looks over and sees like you coming in with them, and you see her sort of start to kind of like pat her hands and come over.
So I'll take that letter when you. I mean, so I guess you got to write it first, right?
Right, I do. Excuse me, Lord Derek. Is he with you? Well, yes, he's delivering a letter to my person. And now she looks at you. And you were picking up berries?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So what? Yeah. So okay. I've been here before. I was here delivering the letter, but you weren't here, and they came and asked me what I was here for, and I told them that I was delivering some letters. Or I told them that I was getting some I needed to pick up some berries, and they gave me berries. It was very nice.
He left with some blueberries.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a cover because I hadn't found you, and I was supposed to not tell anybody about the letter, and so I thought I'd just kind of walk around until I found you, and I found you pretty soon after.
Give me a deception check with advantage. As you see Lord Derek, like, confused by Martha even approaching.
Yeah.
Martha, what the? Why? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, Martha, who gives a shit? I mean, honestly, you guys are probably... I was trying to not say anything to get you guys in trouble, inviting a stranger in here and giving them berries just because he says so. I got a 24. But, Sweet. However people run their houses.
No, there's no reason. I mean, Look, he came in here looking for me, Martha. And he clearly didn't trust either one of you to deliver this message, so he wanted to himself. Think on the implications of that.
The way you're told to do the job.
No, I understand. Gentlemen, do you need anything? I'm going to step into my chamber real quick and write this, but...
Ooh. Well, Seylan, they do have really good blueberries.
Give the man a couple more, huh? Fill his pockets with blueberries. And you see him spin away, and, like, Sheena's just, like, literally, like, behind Martha in the kitchen, like, her jaw's just... Martha's like, okay. Sheena, grab them. You get one of the... Oh, I don't know, maybe the little wicker basket and fill half of it. She sort of, like, has to shake herself into action. And, amused by this, and rarely commenting, but with eyes that seem to almost be taking photographs, this Forgekeeper stands out of the way, but like a drawn bowstring, the stillness bespeaking the anticipation of action. Before Lord Derek re-enters, here we are. Now see this, and it's like literally like folded and sealed. There's a wax press on it. I want this delivered to the person that gave you that letter. I don't want anyone to see it. I don't want you to give them any feedback. Tell them that the person that gave this to you was a gnomish man with freckles all over his face. Yes?
Freckled gnomish man.
That's correct.
And is there somebody in town that matches that description?
You know what? Make a history check.
Fuck me. Pardon. History would be a 2.
So there aren't a lot of gnomes. You definitely remember seeing some gnomes, like, just in the mix. The freckles you're not able to pin down. And more outside of sort of, it's kind of one of those things where you're like, damn, was that at the market or was that at the dock? Or was that at the menagerie? You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to kind of, like, trace the location where you saw them.
A freckled gnome. But they'll know him.
Yeah. You got me on that. So anyway, you take this letter. Let me walk with the boy. I will bend his ear before departing on my own. May you find shelter from the fire, Lord Protector. He bows his head.
Well, thank you so much. I'll see you. Let's just get delivered properly. And he's to meet you. Wait, so the gnome is supposed to meet him where? Or I got to take him back to the house, right?
No, he basically was like, if anybody asks you, this is like the answer I want you to give. This is how I want you to spin it.
But I'm just giving the letter. I don't tell him to meet because at the lunch I think he said to bring somebody back to the house. But maybe.
Oh yes. No, he did. He basically was like, I want you to convince, the person who gave you this letter to come to my house. I'd like to speak to them face to face. But then he basically was like, if pressed, if they're like kind of hitting you with the same intensity of questioning that they hit you.
All right.
The person that gave you the letter is a gnome with freckles on his face.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Then couldn't be clearer.
Here you go. You see Sheena come over, like, both kind of, sort of, loose kind of strands of hair coming out from her twin braids. But she has this very shallow wicker basket that is about half full of blueberries.
Ooh. My lucky day.
Yeah, it is.
Well, thank you, Sheena. You obey your master well.
She looks back at you, like, not sure if you're, like, taking the piss. Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
Yes. And she turns.
And I put that one out of sorts. I don't know. I usually have a way with it, and I kind of go, usually the girls like me, but I don't think so.
It is the way of the world. And as you see this, you feel the refiner place his hand on your shoulder.
Fuck. All right.
And there is a strength to this grip that is substantial. It's like whenever your uncle kind of like shows up, 3 hours into the barbecue to like really like catch up every 6 years, and you're like, oh fuck, ah! You know, they just like break your shoulder with that grip. Or I don't know if that's just uncles in Texas. How you been, John? And they just like shatter my shoulder.
Now, John.
Yes.
I should probably shut up. However, as do I see him kind of reaching out to put his hand on my shoulder? I would like to scooch away from that if possible.
Oh, sure. And just to like paint the picture, like in my mind, you guys were kind of waiting in this antechamber, right? Your Lord Derek walks off. He comes back. He gives you the letter. I want you to bring them here. If anybody asks about it, this fucking gnome with freckles gave you the letter. And then more or less Seylan was like, I'm going to see that this is done, and I'll walk with the boy.
Sure.
And at that point,
as he like kind of reaches his hand out, I just want to take like a few more steps. Well, we better get to it, huh?
Seylan? Sure.
To get away.
Give me a either a dexterity or a strength, either athletics or acrobatics.
Okay.
He rolled an 18.
Shit, 13.
Yeah.
As he reaches out, he'd probably touch something before he got to my body.
Exactly. And I think that's what sort of you're like, oh shit, and you start to spin, and as he does, he like steps with you, and now kind of like slides a hand almost like two old Frenchmen walking in a park. And I mean, it's not, you could definitely. I mean, that was kind of you trying to subtly resist, right? You definitely could continue to try to.
I know that he knows, and I'm just like, I just give him a big old smile.
Yeah, 100%. If you'd like, give me a persuasion check. There's no potential of loss here.
These blueberries ain't gonna eat themselves.
Yeah, totally. I'm not interested in the berries.
Then the sunlight, then. All right. 17.
Cool.
And we'll walk out of the house, right?
He returns your smile, but it's not this sort of radiant, full 100% brightness that you're putting forward. Mm-hmm. It's one of chagrin, satisfaction, and I don't know if respect is the word, but almost like aw shucksness. And you guys exit. And he's walking with you, and you're walking, away. If you look on the owlbear, it's you guys are kind of up here in the northwest, and you guys are leaving this section, sliding back down towards the actual markets, right, and coming down through this area. And as you walk, it's moving towards 4 or 5 in the afternoon, but people are still running errands before going home for supper, etc. It is rare to see a man that lives by the edge of his forked tongue quite so exquisitely, my Jimmy.
Yeah. No, Master Seylan, that Lord Derek, he really is lucky to have someone so smart like you working for him. Emphasize on the work.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And the voice has been dropped a little bit as well,
Who wrote you that letter asking to bring noble blood to the Forgekeepers, huh?
Some things you just gotta keep secret. What is your interest in it?
He sort of, steps close to you and has stopped walking, kind of stops you from walking as well.
Well, listen, I can't, I'm at your mercy, Master Seylan. But I'm good at a few things. Maybe I can help you get done what you want to get done. I could certainly use some refining.
Well, the order of the refiners is one marked by blood. Yet those that serve beneath the umbrella are many. There is a need, of course, for secrecy, but transparency behind that veil. You follow me, huh?
Secrecy and transparency, they don't really go well together.
They don't, but one is outward facing, the other inward.
Sure.
I will not have you lie to me.
Okay. pretty good at lying.
There was a refiner that died last night. He was killed within the steeple tent of a menagerie.
Yeah.
I will not dip into the fullness of why, but any that truly knows how and what this world was made for, how it came to be, knows that there is power that comes in the wildness here.
And the what here?
The wildness, the wilderness, and the mountains and the hills, the depths of the seas. All of Lucedahn is alive with this magic.
In the heart of the desert.
No, you've been to the Diamond Wastes.
Not sure. Makes sense though.
Well, we seek to find the reason for why that magic pushes upward. Some say it is the Fey realm wishing to touch the material. Others, they say that it is the bones of the Titans, the first people that live below the crust of Lucedahn. And some would push upward. As for myself, I am interested only in tracing back the earliest and the first peoples that built this land and controlled the magic that flows here in this world. You ask how you might help me, and I would not be bothered if you keep twisting lies into the ear of Lord Derek and robbing him of his blueberries. It does not bother me. But you could do more, yeah?
Be honest. I just need a little push in the right direction. But yeah, I can do a lot more.
There is a family here, the Backbrooks. And as I said, if you know a way to get me aboard the Maiden's Mooring, Badron's ship, I will pay you handsomely. And I will gird you with more than gold. Assets. Power. But there is a family known as the Golden Fields. They have 2 children, one Rebecca, a daughter, and then an older son, Tyranny. Physic, my refiner that was not killed, says that this Goldenfield boy was at the menagerie show, and that he took in the events seated next to a sailor. If you can find me this Tyranny, or this man that kept his company, it could be of great use.
What do you need them for?
The same reason I'd like to be on board the ship. The refiners.
Can you change your appearance, Master? Or you need to get on that ship as you?
No, it would be as me. Yeah. What you see is what you get, but I have the ability to do many things. To become so translucent it is almost invisible.
I know a guy who's getting on that ship tomorrow. It leaves tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it does.
I could talk to him.
What
would he have
take?
to say?
Well, I don't.
Well, I mean, would the Backbrooks just let you on if he was like, hey, can my friend come?
No. Ukalan is a city that is free, and as such, the ruling families here are not wont to participate in anything that is united outside the city, like the refiners. But if you could create a situation where I can walk on, perhaps invisible, or set up a place for me to climb aboard, I do have the ability to fly. So I could potentially I mean, I can't do both. I can't be invisible and fly at the same time, but any distraction or a window. It cannot be risk. I cannot be discovered, but if I made it aboard, that would be enough.
Well, gonna ask you something.
You can ask it. I don't know that I will answer it, but
I think that wouldn't be a problem. Like, my friend could drop a rope, open a window. It would be unassuming. But he could also carry on a coffin.
That is an interesting way. Well, let me ask you this. And as he's sort of considering this, like, about, 2 minutes ago, after sort of like the intensity of this brief kind of back and forth, this sort of like, don't lie to me, you guys had resumed walking. And as you're sort of swinging, continuing this conversation, and he's hearing this pitch on potentially using a coffin to board him, you guys pass by this sort of stretch, and you know them well, but it's essentially like 3 big warehouses. And you're not really sure. I mean, a lot of them are kind of open to the street, open to the air, almost like a mechanic shop would be in the modern sense. But you're not sure if they're owned by the same person, but one of them to be essentially like a pretty large scale, like log and wood refinement. Like they cut logs down to size. They also like apportion firewood. They debark wood. They more prep it in like bulk and individual usage. They don't like build stuff, but they like take it from log to more utilizable. And next to that is also a tannery that is really what's hitting you now. I mean, that kind of acidic, like pulpy smell of leather and rot. And as it sort of comes in this, still hanging sunlight of the fading afternoon, you see several of these tanners kind of look up. Some of them like visibly react, seeing this Forgekeeper. Some go back to their duty, but you see one man sort of sniffs. You coming to sniff the ass cheeks of the babes then, good sir? Or you looking for monsters? You see a man next to him sort of stands and like laughs, and like the other guy kind of, slaps him like, yeah, you like that one. He kind of is like, stop. Yeah. Looks like you've seen a few monsters in your day, huh? Yeah, it looks like you've seen them or you lain with them, huh? And the two kind of start like cracking themselves up, and you didn't really even get like a turn of the head. But as he says, yeah, either seen them or lain with them, Seylan stops. It appear that the refiners of the Brotherhood has wronged you fine men in some way. Yeah, just wronged us by going through our city, costing us, smelling people's hair, cornering, asking questions. Yeah, it ain't right. I mean, coming around like you own the fucking place. You're not even from here. Well, let me make this right. He starts like fiddling around. What shall we say? 2 gold pieces? 3? Perhaps I could pay you fine men for your trouble. You see them kind of look at each other. And is there anything you'd like to do, Coleridge?
I'm just watching, and I'm also watching. I don't trust to see if there's some sort of ambush kind of something like people draw your attention one way and they come at you another, and so I'm just kind of finding ways to turn around and just cover the back. But I'm enjoying it.
Give me a perception check. And can I just say real quick, Bri? Like, God, I love playing D&D with you, bro. Like, isn't this just the best that we're like alive? I know.
Why am I so nervous?
I know. I'm like,
it doesn't exist.
No. It does.
But like, I'm sitting there, like, I'm like, well, if these guys kill this guy, that's not that bad for me. I could just start saying, help, he's kidnapped me. But I got a 6.
Got a 6. Okay, got it.
Maybe I am a little.
So you whip to the 180 kind of, opposite you. And you see, like, stretching beyond you, I mean, there's some rows of larger houses. You're not sure their purpose. There's some people idling out front. And then, beyond that, a good, like, 300, about 350 feet is, like, where the market proper, like, spills out, a larger kind of open area. This is mostly workers. You see some of them kind of, like, absolutely going back to their work. But with a 6, it's hard for you to really kind of look beyond the immediate interaction.
Okay.
But as you see him say, let me pay you for your trouble, the two men kind of look back and like consider. All right, yeah, it'd be fun. Fucking damn right you do something finally to kind of pay back, the trouble you've been putting on people. He's sort of wiping his hands on this very kind of heavily stained apron. And, well, here, follow me. I don't want to pull out my purse on the street, huh? And, they look at each other, and he starts walking off. Seylan, that is.
You heard him, guys. Just want you to follow him. Sure, he'll pay you.
He sort of eyes you, and they look back. But just a minute there, Tim. We'll be back, huh? Yeah, we're just stretching our legs, and we'll come back, huh?
Well, just make sure. It's not often you get paid for doing nothing.
The fuck's that supposed to mean? What do you mean? Get paid for doing nothing? He's paying us for... He's been hassling our women, huh? Yeah, don't listen to the boy. He's riding the fucking golden tails, huh? He walks. And now it's like, all three of you guys are kind of like hurrying a little bit to like catch up, right? And...
Fuck it. I don't care about these people. Yeah, go on.
No, okay. Yeah, no. Yeah. And feel free to interrupt me if something needs to...
No. Do I get the set, like, this is such a hard thing, but... Yeah. No, I just want to watch. It's fine. I'm just having a little, like, moral quandary.
Yeah? Okay.
And I think, like, that was enough. Like, I did enough.
Yeah. I know that feeling so well. That's how Terry is all the time. I'm like, I tried a 30%.
Coleridge tried a tiny little bit.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think there's a lot of realism to that. Okay, anyway. So as you guys sort of, you see, and you're kind of rushing to get to this main street, and as you do, you just see kind of the catching in the wind about 1.5 feet of the gray flapping coattails, or the ends rather, of this gentleman's cloak, of Seylan going in between two kind of low-slung buildings. And describe where you are right now. Like, in my mind, you're like kind of alongside these guys, or like you kind of like...
I kind of put myself between Seylan and the guys. Like, if he walks into this door, then I think I'd turn around and walk in as well. Cool.
So...
I just want to look up one thing real quick. Yep. And can I get a read on these guys? Like,
yeah, give me an insight check.
Yeah. I want to see if these guys are just dumb workers, or like, do these guys, like, are their knuckles bruised? Do these guys like crime about, or are they fucking around? Anyway, I got a 12.
12, cool.
Is there anything that tells me like these guys might be drunk and just doing something stupid?
So I can hear Marley getting started up. I'm pretty sure the drop is happening with this.
Oh, very good, right? Very
good. Essentially what goes down is this. With the 12, you look at them and you're thinking through the lens of how you just described it. Like, are these guys that like know how to handle themselves? Does it look like they chop it up a lot? These do look like pretty rough dudes. I mean, like, working in a tannery is not easy work. I mean, it's backbreaking. It's like extremely menial. And for that reason, I mean, they're quite strong. One is bigger than the other, the one that was kind of, initiating and talking a little bit more shit. But they seem straightforward. It seems like their insults were like genuinely motivated. Like they have felt slighted. Like they were intending to pass forward disrespect to this gentleman, right? And and now I think they see a situation where they're kind of like, oh, like, yeah, that's how fucking lords handle shit, is they just toss gold at the problem. So as they sort of round the corner, you see now about 60 feet towards the end of it away, it kind of spills out this area almost like between the backs of buildings. You see his hand extended, the very end of a somatic components of a spell.
And move to the side.
And you see him say, and now his voice like booming, stretching out like past them to you. To see, young Jimmy, what you have. Show me what you can do. And as that happens, you see both of these gentlemen look back, and one of them, give me an additional insight check.
Yeah, okay, that was better. 17.
It appears like this guy has been charmed.
Okay.
You see them kind of like hear this cry from, oh snap, I forgot to add him. Damn it. All right, we're just going to make the refiner this bone devil, who you may or may not see in the Tuesday campaign, and you may or may not already know, Brian. But anyway, I think that's just it's just befitting the vibe and the mode. As you're walking up, oh my God, you're enormous.
I cast enlarge.
Yeah. Okay, one moment. Cool. I need you to roll initiative for me.
Okay.
As you see crackling your knuckles, these two tanners turning and heading your way. One of them with like sort of a newfound unexpected malice in his eyes.
Yeah. I got on the initiative, I got a 18.
18, baby boy. Okay. Coleridge. Cool. Okay. So it is Zeldin's turn. You see him. Yeah. Well, all right. I mean, fuck, I hate eating a kid, but I can do it. 15, 20. You see him coming towards you, and he's like equal parts Zangief and like, you know, like just two like frat guys, like, you know, when they kind of do that thing where they're like about to fight, bro. But like they don't, you know, they can't believe you're making them do this because they don't really want to do this, but they will, bro. Oh my God! It fell out of the fucking thing, but it would have been it was a natural 20, but it didn't land in the thing. Does a 16 hit?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. He hits you for 3 points of damage.
Okay.
And he's like, and he just like throws this heavy ass overhand haymaker that you're kind of dodging out of the way of, but it does clamor against your upheld arms. It is now your turn.
Again, he also hits like something just maybe about a quarter of an inch. Yeah. Jimmy's a little skinnier than Coleridge. I'll look at him and smile. I'll look past. What's this guy's name? Zoran?
Well, you don't know his name, but it's Zeldin.
I'll look past to Master Seylan. It's not my specialty. Fighting is very boring. I'm gonna cast sleep.
Let's go. So wait, do you have access to that?
I do. It's part of
it's
Archfey.
Let's fucking go. That's sick. Because we were talking about that earlier, and because if you said no, I was gonna be like, just you should. Okay, great. Fuck yeah. I mean, great move. Okay, so I believe you pick a point, and it's what, a 30-foot radius or a 15-foot?
Yeah, it's 90 feet.
Ooh.
And this spell sends creatures into a magical slumber. The 5d8. This is the total. The total is how many hit points of creatures this spell can affect. Creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose within range are affected in ascending order to their current hit points. So you're right. So I have to. So I can. Yeah, it's 20-foot radius of a point I find in 90 feet. So are they 20 feet away from each other?
They.
Or like 40 feet away from each other.
They are exactly. Yeah. No, they're only about 30 feet.
Okay.
Actually, they're about 25 feet apart. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
But it wouldn't get to the Forgekeeper, and it wouldn't hit you. Can you designate people that are not affected by sleep? I'm just curious.
Oh, let's see. Starting with the I'm not worried about it hitting the Forgekeeper.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm always just curious for like future reference.
Yeah, it would be. Let me see if I can do myself. Let's see. Or if I should be creatures within. Affected, starting with the creature that has the lowest current hit points. Each creature affected by the spell, unconscious. Yeah, I think it doesn't say. It's undead and creatures immune to being charmed aren't affected, but this that's neither of these guys. I think if I had the lowest hit point, so I'll definitely put myself out of the range.
Got it.
If I had myself, because I'm at 11, so it would affect me as well.
Copy that. Okay, cool. Good to know.
I think
okay, so roll that 5d8.
Oh, okay. Come on, roll well, Coleridge. Okay, great. I mean, I just saw 2 of them. I got 7, 8, 15, 20, 24.
Oh my. Damn. Love it. So, yeah, normally don't hit a ball like that. I gotta. Oh my. You hear Zeldin just like collapse in front of you.
Okay.
As that's happening, what the fuck is that, Zeldin? Come on, beat the shit out of the boy. Beat the shit out of him. You see, yeah, like heartily. I mean, they're basically glorified commoners. But yes, you absolutely like drop the shit out of them.
That was good rolls.
That was badass, dude. I did not know you could one-shot them with sleep. That's fucking epic. I don't know why I love that so much.
It's good. I take out my both of my daggers and I hold them right up to the neck of the guy that's down.
That's so cool. So you roll right up to Zeldin. You see the...
And I just kind of look at him. How far?
You see him, the Forgekeeper, walk up to where the other one is. And he's just standing over him, and you're like crouched down with this dagger at this unconscious man's neck. To walk up to the Lord Protector of a city, boldly lying to your teeth. It is not every day, but that the same man can come and put 2 shit-eaters to sleep like that. You are a mystery, I want to know better. He reaches down and grabs the kind of shaggy hair of Bruce, of this, kind of larger tannery man that had started the initiative. And he wrenches the head back, and you'll see, only the old blood shall survive. He pulls a dagger out, but as he does, it just erupts in a flaming sword. I mean, it goes like 5, 6, 7 feet. He extends it forward and rakes it backwards. And you just hear and then smell subsequently like the cauterizing sundering of this guy's neck. As it like spills open, the heat is so intense from this sword that it like cauterizes the wound, but it literally boils some of this blood as well. It's just, but the smell remains. Do it. What do you hesitate for, boy?
Doesn't and I think Cole just kind of looks at him. And now I know who I'm not taking on the ship. And I'm gonna run into one of these warehouses.
Oh my god, love it. Wow. Okay. Okay, I love it. That's fucking awesome, dude. I was so excited for this moment. I was like, I have no idea how this is going to resolve. Okay, cool. So, yeah. So you run. You immediately.
I'm whispering. I'm going for the. I'm trying to find. darkness. I'm trying to find like a basement. I'm trying to find just
Got
where
it.
there's zero light. He's fucking an elf though. I'm just trying to get the fuck out, and I'm just
Sure.
like whispering to myself. I'm just like, well, this isn't not. There's more. You have more for me. So this is that time.
Yeah.
This is that time.
No, I would never keep from one that spares a life in such a way. Flee, boy. Let me drive your heels. And you like feel this like burning, almost like in like your ears and mind and head. There's a brief moment where you're almost considering patting your head, like, is it a flame? Give me either a stealth or an acrobatics check. And I would say, just for your decision making, this is to see like how well this first kind of reactionary split goes.
I think that it's yeah, okay. What I'm choosing, stealth or acrobatics.
Yeah.
I think that if I go in there and I think there's like darkness, like there's just like I don't know if this is, you know, if there's some place that I think that I'll be able to like that, and I mean not like a dark place, but like a pitch black, which there probably isn't. Then I'm just gonna run.
Got it. So.
Because it's daytime, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's daytime.
Yeah.
So
right,
you.
then I'm just gonna run then.
Like the area you're in right now is a lot of like stores and some houses and stuff, but a lot of like 1- and 2-story establishments. In a lot of places, it's like the store and then the house that like the owners live in on top of it. You do run past like a door on either side of the about 50 feet that you're running to get back to the street. So if you'd like, you know, I mean, you don't know if they're locked, you don't know what's going on with them, but if you'd like, those doors are options. The street itself, you know, is somewhat populated, like I said, but you know, it's really about 300 feet into where the market is. Just so I can put it on Alberans, just so you can know in terms of like the geography of Ukalan. Almost dropped Neverwinter in there. Is that you guys are essentially like here. Boink.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know, the markets are essentially here-ish.
Yeah.
You know, up here is where the Temple of Raquel is. Yeah, obviously there's stuff you can see. Port, the menagerie had been over here. So those are options.
Okay.
For what it's worth.
Yeah. I'm just gonna try to run like just zigzag through the warehouse, but knowing that the market's there. My goal is to find people, to get into a crowd.
Yeah. So what did you roll on stealth or acrobatics?
I'm just gonna go athletics.
Athletics, totally fine. You're just sprinting. Yeah. Cool.
Fuck. 10.
Great.
Or acrobatics. Sorry, that's okay.
Yeah. Either one.
Acrobatics. Yeah, 10.
Okay. So you start off, and as you start heading that way, immediately, you hear this, and you look back, and where he had been, you know, about 60 feet away, he's now 20 feet away, moving in kind of the similar direction. You have sprinted about 60 feet, and just like as you see that happen, you flash back. You're like, holy fuck! Like, how did he move that fast? How did he get that fast? Like, was that a spell? Like, what was this? And just as you're able to do that, you round the corner about 10 feet. You do see that there is like this tannery still active. There's this, you know, woodworking shop still active. These are big, you know, open bay windows that give way into warehouses. Just idling about the outside of it, you do see about 8 or 9 individuals walking around. And then, like I said, it's, you know, kind of moving past that and a little bit south is about 300 feet to the market. In terms of people, like lots of people.
Is he chasing after me, this guy?
Yeah.
Okay. And I see these workers.
Yeah.
As I'm running.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change into one of them.
Sick. Make a deception check for me, just on the
kind of like that. Terrible. 18.
Cool. It's cocked. Wow. Okay. So great. So you do so. Describe how you look.
I shirtless, big barrel chested, like very hairy. Hands are blackened. Kind of this greasy, curly hair. Maybe, you know, mid-40s human.
Got it.
But just kind of a just with like a tool belt on that I see, that's kind of common, but these like leather pants and apron and such, just like sweat, and I'm just gonna start just boys. That elven bastard just killed. What's the guy's name?
Yeah. Well, you don't know it. You don't know it.
Killed one of our workers. That elven refining bastard. Right over there.
Dude, I love it. Make a persuasion check at advantage. Around that same time, rounding the corner, his eyes searching like a hawk's, is Seylan.
24.
Like fucking hell, he is. Which one? It's like that guy. I saw him. He was hassling both of them, huh? And you see two guys that, like, of the 8 or 9, like one of them is kind of looking at you like eyes wide. Like, I think you get the sense that he absolutely saw you shift, and he's sort of like, oh my god. But rushing past him are 6, 7, 2 more coming from outside. You see Seylan sort of look back and like hear the end of this, the elven bastard. Is it that fuck? This guy, huh? Fucking hell. No fucking way, man. Too much bullshit already. We work 12 hours a fucking day. Tell him, man. They're sort of circling around. You see them moving, like some of them have moved past you towards Seylan, who... Oh, wow. Who's like absolutely befuddled in this moment. You see him like look. His eyes to you. Say it again.
I hex him.
Oh, sick. Okay. What do you
checks? Fuck. What would be a check to get the fuck out of there?
Speed.
I mean, but I don't think he would run, and Arcana wouldn't work. But I'll just do charisma, persuasion. If he tries to talk himself out of it.
Oh, I love it. Okay. Cool.
All right, I'm out of spells.
Wow.
Oh, fuck. No, that wouldn't.
Wait, are you? Oh, because you cast
fairy
sleep.
fire. Maybe I should have done fairy fire instead.
That's funny as fuck. Just like light him up. Oh, yeah. You know what? That's really funny because of what he's about to do. You see some of these individuals like getting there. Is he telling it the way it went, huh? You hurt somebody, you kill him, I saw you offering off, give him gold. Who the fuck are they? Hey,
right
Bruce!
Around the corner.
Bruce! You see one guy like who's like jogging up, doesn't even like go up to this gaggle that's approaching Seylan, and just starts running towards that corner where they went. Seylan tracks this as well. Well, I see that between the 10 of you, you have at least half a fucking brain. He turns invisible. Yeah, what would you like to do? I cannot believe that you pulled that off. That was really good.
I think, well, now I'm wondering if he saw me chant, if he knows which one I am. I'm going to guess that he doesn't. I'm going to...
I will say that he definitely rolled for it.
I'm going to start... Yeah. Alright, fuck you go. Yeah.
Are you kind of approaching with these other workers?
Yeah, I'm with them. I'm just staying in this group. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Just give me one brief moment. There's somebody at the door, dude. Just give me 2 seconds.
No worries.
As you ponder your own fate, hold up.
Oof. This is why good Lord invented Pamplemousse.
Okay, good boy. Okay, sorry about that, buddy. Got a slinky dog. Okay, but you are approaching him with these other tannery workers.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he's invisible.
Exactly. Says you come.
Try to hit him. He's still there. Try to hit him.
You see one guy does like lunge forward. Oh man, not bad. Woo! And at disadvantage, clocks him like right in the fucking face. Not a ton of damage, but it does necessitate a con save, and he rolled a nat 1. Unreal. This reminds me of Jesse the Butcher, like upending that battle. You see this guy just roll in, like fucking hell. Whoosh! Punch him, and sort of like shimmering back, almost like holding his nose, is this guy, Seylan. People immediately grab over. You're kind of there. Well,
jump on top of him.
Okay, cool. Give me an athletics or acrobatics check.
Natural 20.
Let's fucking go. He was rolling at disadvantage. You got an 8. As you see him sort of start to like move away, you grab on. Someone else grabs him by the chest, and again, is this time gonna roll with advantage? Jesus Christ! And just bah! Like again, just like catches him right in the face. Die! You fucking fools! You know nothing of what will come. And yeah, I mean he's essentially getting like battered with blows. You are one of about 4 people that like either have him or are punching him. When around that same time, this guy comes around. It's like he said, man. Zeldin's back there. He's bleeding out. It looks like Bruce is fucking dead. I don't fucking know. And now is sleep concentration? And how long does it last? I'm just curious.
Oh.
I think it's 10 minutes. I just don't know if it's concentration.
No, that sounds long. I think it might be a minute. Let me just look real fast.
Cool.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay,
and
cool.
It is not concentration.
Very cool. I love that it's not concentration. That's dope. So it has not quite been a minute. You're probably at 45 seconds. It is now going to be Seylan's turn. And he is going to, again... Damn, I did not think it was going to come to this. Let me just make sure I've got... Cool. Got it. So he is again going to Misty Step. You see him like disappear, land on his feet. Fools, you do not know what will come from the rising of the old blood, but you will see. You will see. And you see him like, I mean, this is not like a situation he thought he was going to find himself in at all. Literally like teleport 30 feet and then start to sprint northwestern, kind of back the way you guys had come as Jimmy/Coleridge. But he's now, 85, 90 feet away at full stride. You see the guys around there like, fucking hell. What the hell was that? He's right here. We fucking had him. He goes, yeah, that's what they can do. These fucking wizardy fucking elves. You see 2 guys like starting to run and like.
Who needs to get the guard? You need to get the guard. Tell them what happened here.
See people kind of looking back. One kind of looks at you and being like, is this your first day?
No. I work over on the shipping yards. I heard they needed help here.
You see this one guy came over. He looked. You fucking did something, dude. What'd you fucking do? You see this guy like real narrow eyes, like just looks like confused and really scared. A lot of it is lost in sort of the adrenaline. One guy, you heard him go. One guy's like running now towards where the market is, presuming that he can find a guard. You see 2 others that have like continued running that direction, but aren't really gaining ground, or still like a solid 70 feet behind Seylan. And
I'll tell you what I didn't do is I didn't kill your friend in an alleyway and try to get away with it.
Yeah,
I didn't run from you.
Listen, appreciate you putting us on. And right now the guy that like, yeah, hell, man. Fuck. Zeldin owed me 3 silver. It's like, what the fuck? You think that's a thing to say right now? Jesus, Charlie, he's dead. I'm just saying, so's my fucking debt. You see people like really kind of ruffled by this. They're like, fuck, Charlie. The guy that was pointing out to you, this sort of like tall, narrow-faced man, has sort of been like, impressed by what you said, but more kind of sullied by what's going on. Give me a persuasion or intimidation check.
Persuasion 18.
Okay, cool. You see him kind of like buttoned up by the situation. Coleridge, this moment is yours. I mean, you see people have head. I mean, it's a little bit of like bedlam. Some people are spilling out of the woodworking shop now, just hearing the commotion coming over and getting an explanation from others around them. What would you like to do?
I would like to, in the melee, like just, tell people to get guards, and then walk up to the one who knows me and has seen me.
Cool.
That man wants to kill me. And he'll stop it.
That fucking guy, that fucking elf?
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
No place I can hide.
You see around this same time, like, completely bewildered, Bruce, is like the larger, kind of barrel-chested individual in the suspenders that had first kind of like initiated this sequence. Oh, Jesus fucking God, man. They killed Zeldin, the fuck. Ah, God. Yeah, what the hell was going on, man? I saw you shouting at them and he followed them. What the fuck? He said they're trying to kill one of our guys too. I mean, the fuck is that guy? Those are fucking refiners, man. Yeah, all those fucking elves, you know? The ones that were walking around the market, taking people's hair and pricks of blood and smelling them and whatnot, man. They're fucking creeps.
Do you know where they are staying? The refiners?
Yeah, I think, someone was saying that, right? It was, fuck. And you'd heard, I mean, not to like metagame, but just so you, Brian, know, yeah. Rosie had told you that the refiners were staying at Lord Derek's house, right? I mean,
that's where I went.
That's actually what had led you there to begin with. But in this moment, you I more just asked because I didn't know if you were trying to like, you know.
Oh no, I'm talking about more like where the weird robed guys
like
were.
The actual like walking around in robe refiners. Got it.
Yeah
I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. I heard that one of them got strung up from the fucking trapeze at the menagerie last night. I don't know if it's true. It's just what was told to me.
Well, if this is the way they treat workers in the city, I think we string up some few
exactly
more.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying, man. That shit's fucked. It's absolutely fucked. Around like this time you see like, oh man, I couldn't get there. I fucking ran. Haven't run like that. He kept fucking doing the thing. He kept jumping. Oh, fuck my ass. Oh, I didn't see where he went. He was in the rich part of town. He was, oh, fuck. He was up there near Gold Lane. He was where all the fucking rich pitchforks live. Oh, what the fuck? Who's walking by and killing fucking tanners? The fuck's that? And maybe, just maybe, there's like, and I'm not saying it's justified, but I think there's a little bit of like, shit, am I culpable in this? Like, what the fuck was going on?
No,
you know what I mean?
I think I totally am.
Like, John doesn't think you are. You got dragged into that shit, but, you know, whatever. Just for the story version. Yeah, Coleridge, you see people are like, you know, the people who are running off are like people who have given up the chase. But another, 2-3 minutes come by. Some people like are now distracted, bringing back like the lifeless body. Oh, I was wrong. I played them wrong. Bruce is dead. So I did the wrong voice. But Zeldin does come back and essentially like, oh fuck, oh shit, they killed Bruce. He thought I was dead, but it's Bruce that died. And you see him sort of coming back, and
so the guy gets his 3 silver.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like, oh. Man, thank God, I was worried about you, man. Hey, you remember whenever I spotted you for that half a rabbit? I'm gonna need you to pay me, man. Shit's dangerous around these parts. In a time like this, I was nearly stabbed. And you see them sort of reacting. People have now sort of dragged Bruce's body, like, back. And, I mean, it's like a nasty wound. I mean, like, the neck, the top of the chest is, like, scarred and opened. They're not sure if he's alive or dead. But in this sort of cacophony, and obviously at any point in time, man, tell me what you're doing or any impact you want to say. But
I think at this point, it seems like these guys, I mean, yeah, I think that I'm just going to try to get away from these guys.
Sure.
They're all looking over the body. Maybe I can cause a distraction. I can just say, yeah, okay. Yeah, as the body comes down, I'm going to kind of the road. I'm imagining kind of like stony, sandy kind of road. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
It is stone. I mean, the main thoroughfares are like somewhat cobbled.
As he comes down, I'm just going to be like, sit down. I was just going to say, do you hear that? Is he back? Is he back but invisible? And I'm going to minor illusion.
Fuck yeah.
Like, on the building kind of far away, like some barrels or something, like a sound of something falling,
Got it. Okay, give me a deception check with advantage.
It's good. 20. Good. Yeah. 14 plus 6, so 20.
Ooh, that's good. Because I rolled twice for this group, and one of them totaled a 19. You see this rattling of these barrels. Oh, shit! Fucking hell! I tell you what, man, please, just give me that silver before we move on with this shit, because I'm trying to eat too. You see people kind of reacting. People start heading that way. You see some people, like, moving warily before a couple rush in and, like, bash the shit out of two of the barrels.
I go the other way.
Okay, cool. As you head off, I think you see out of the side of your eye. Some people kind of track you. The guy with the narrow face, like, looks up at you and then back down, like, sufficiently kind of, cold. And you can see, like, in which direction are you going? Like, I'd be happy to...
Just the opposite, whatever it is, and then until you get away, and
okay,
I'm just going to go. So I'm going to try to circle around, get to a crowded place, and then, and I want to morph into something else, somebody else, maybe a town guard. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I think there was a town guard that I saw.
So in this moment, you saw one that was sleeping with the baker's wife. Shibbity beep boop. You send these people towards the barrel. You see about 4 of them go that way. Zeldin is like kind of rattled. Has just sort of been waking up from this sleep spell. He's not sure what happened, and he sees Bruce unconscious, super fucked up. People are fucking up these barrels. The narrow-faced guy is like stunned. He's not really reacting, and you start heading south. So you're sort of moving towards the market. And there's a throng enough of people. Some people have kind of moved that way where you're able to kind of create a little bit of sightline. Maybe even like within a beat, like briefly minor illusion on a shirt. I don't know, you tell me. But you do see coming the direction of the market, now about 200 feet away, and being led by one of the sailors who you recognize from just this, a minute and a half ago, is 2 town guards. Now they, the town guards, some of them are like actual, career lifetime soldiers. Many of them are simply civilians that have been kind of garrisoned and serve, almost like a, Army Reserve type capacity. But as they're sort of coming by, neither one of them really seems to notice you. They're kind of, running by. You make it into the actual market, and as you do, there's just a touch more peace. As like you feel the rush of people around you, of a populace, of like a moving throng into this kind of late, 5, almost 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah. I think the guards kind of come past. I'm not going to turn into a guard, but there's another kind of character I have that I haven't done on. Igor Wells.
Okay, sick.
I think, and he's like a apprentice, like to a banker, like a banker's apprentice kind of thing. And I just kind of like turn to him. He's got glasses.
Okay, so you're doing this. I mean,
it's like I gotta get to well, I'm gonna walk through. I'm not gonna do it in front of anybody, but if there's a phone booth.
So you're in the middle of the market, right? Which is quite busy right now, which is both like good and bad. I mean, like no one's paying you any particular mind, but it's like it's hard to kind of get. I
stick out like a sore thumb. I'm shirtless, kind of.
Exactly. Like there is that aspect. It's like, okay, this dude just definitely wandered in from the tannery or some shit. But give me an investigation check.
Dude. Well, I can't. I'm like rolling really well on all the charisma checks, which is fucking amazing. But my investigation is a 4.
Yeah, so you're
like
looking,
only none. Yeah.
Like you definitely see some spots where you're like, I could change there. I mean, you could change anywhere, right? But there's not any that to you are free of sightlines. A couple times you've come around like partitioned areas of tents that are like, stalls selling fruit, bread, etc. And at times you'll come around that and it like spills actively into another booth setup. And that happens 2, 3, 4 times. Whenever you're kind of just like, man, fuck, I've been here like 2 minutes in this market. Nothing's happening. Like you're not finding the space to do it.
I'm just gonna keep going through the market and just try to find a corner or an alleyway or something like that.
Cool. So as you move past it, just to see how long this takes you, give me another investigation check.
Oh, not 20.
There you go. Could have used that. So it doesn't take too long, but you do have to kind of leave this space. You go about another 6-7 minutes by foot whenever you see two very tall brick homes that are pressed together. And all you really need is a moment. You kind of act like, oh, you're a little bit, oh man, just a little, oh, is my tummy upset? A bit nauseous. And kind of step in between and woof, are gone. You probably go and exit the other side of it, kind of like circling around it, perhaps. And I'm just, again, like, this is completely subject to your approval.
Yeah. Like he walks behind, like behind a house and comes out the other side.
Exactly. No, totally. So that's you. It's 6 o'clock. You do hear the barking of what appears to be some sort of like traveling salesman that's more been set up on the thoroughfare leading from the ports back into like the main residential areas. The two moons of Lucedahn, I mean, are obviously not anything that's new to you. I mean, you've lived here all of your life. It's the only material plane you've ever seen. You do see them, obviously. I mean, one of them is nearly full. It's yellow. It's hanging quite low on the horizon line. The other is known generally, like in intellectual circles. I'm not sure if you would know this, but like just anecdotally, is further away from the actual like planet of Lucedahn. But it's white and it's brilliant. It's just smaller and in its waning phase. So it's about 2/3 full. But kind of silhouetted between this and just kind of this beautiful dusk, proffered up about 3 feet off the ground, is a halfling man who's in a very fine suit, matching vest and pants, a very kind of flared cloak that's more of like a half cape, silver chain across the front of it. Definitely like, very, very nice clothes that have seen a bit of wear. But you see him, come on, come all. Hey, come here for your tinctures and your needs. If you're hurting, if you're cold, is your nostril stuck up? Did you scrape a knee? We see and fix all. Step right up for Brahms Britannicals. You see some people like coming in and like asking questions that you can't right here. That's a good one. It does regrow hair. All you need to do is use it topically. All right?
Take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. And you see this guy. He's just sort of, moving back and forth and trying to sell these things. He does have stacked behind him what appears to be 3 different sets of jars. He has kind of a square brown one that's glass that he's sort of taking out. He's like, I didn't used to have a beard. You see he has like kind of a mustache and some stubble. But with this here, he's sort of patting himself, putting it on his chin, twice a day for 6 weeks, and there you have what you're looking at. I only sell this because it healed me. I was a recluse. Constantly under the weather. You name it, I had it. Respiratory stuff, the common cold, flus, all of it. It was very bad. But Brahms Botanicals saved my life, and I bought him out, and here I stand before you, brave denizens of Ukalan, to give what was given to me, a second chance at health. You see some people like, fuck yeah. Some people are kind of like walking up, and I would say even
I'm this new guy, this kind of like bookish person.
Yeah.
Oh, Brahms Botanicals! I've heard of this. Yeah, my master used this. Full head of hair, been bald for years.
That's exactly right. Yeah, see, that's just that easy. Your master's a fine gentleman. I remember that sale like it was yesterday. And people have already clamored up, and you get the feel everything's about 4 silver. You see people like handing over silvers. He's already sold 4 bottles, and now, as that sort of said, 2 more that were kind of on the fence come forward, hands raised. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. Just be careful where you put it, right, fellas? And you see people kind of taking it in, and he, in a brief moment, he kind of like has it, and he's reaching back, and he turns to you and gives you a wink. And he as he's turning back, his back to you, and you see it as well. And it almost, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Like that. 12.
For a brief moment, you feel like almost that trimmering lightheadedness that precedes shock or fainting. As rising, as thin as a crescent, as the thumbnail of an actual god, and glowing an absolutely brilliant, brilliant shade of blue is a third moon. And you see as it moves, like people are like, oh my God, what the fuck? Holy. You hear the sound of bodies falling. And this guy Brahm's like, oh, well, there's no need to be shocked. It's witchcraft. It's witchcraft. It's unnatural. No, it's just a botanical. I swear you heard the man. If it works. What is this? What is this? Josiah, run home. Run home. Quickly, tell your father. You see people looking back, and their terror moves Braun to turn as well. And it's impossible. The ascent, the speed, the near proximity. It seems to overwhelm the very night sky, Coleridge. As it's now slid, I mean, cheated, but through the sextant of your perspective relative to the setting sun and skyline over which this crescent rose. It appears like it's moving, I mean, like a bird. I mean, like with the slow, steady ascent that bespeaks both great distance from you, but enormous speed to be noticed.
It's the sky. You see? It's the sky.
What the fuck? What the fuck is that? It's not what it should be. It's what the ancients foretold. It's the dawning of a waxing or a weaning, a woe or a retelling no one can say until it's done. Be quiet, old man! It's cursed is what it is. And you see like the overlapping rising of both like argument and discord and happiness and hope alongside fear and reticence. And Brahm is just lost in front of you. Ah, shit, that can't be good.
The people that are passed out around his shop?
Yeah.
Are they dead? Are they just sleeping?
You look back and some of them are like being revived. Others like haven't reacted, and one has a flask just thrown over them before whoosh, slapped. Fuck. Is it? Holy shit, it's fucking real. What the shit is that? They appear to have just passed out. They appear to have failed their con save.
Okay. And I succeeded with a 12? That's
yeah, you
great.
did. Yeah, DC was 11, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. I'm going to just tell Brahm. It's a nice item you have for sale. I've sold similar. Where are you going after this?
He looks at you. I doubt it. I mean, some of the finest botanicals in existence. The finest.
Absolutely. Easier to sell when there's two, though.
Huh. I was thinking about going up to Kisher. There's a couple rakers that are pushing out. Planning on leaving in a couple days. I don't like to stick around too long.
Yeah. All right. Just you?
Yeah, just me, but what's the angle, man?
Well, let's just say I'm working on a thing, getting on a boat. Maybe someone rides it with me. Someone that I know is good with their words.
He extends a hand. Brahm Bundlebrook.
You can call me Igor for now. Igor Wells.
All right, Igor. Nice to meet you. I like a man that understands and also leaves enough unsaid. I'll tell you what, I was gonna go grab a pint at the Oarsman. Maybe I buy you one.
No. Maybe tomorrow. I'll meet you there in the morning. This thing, I think we can make a lot of money off of it.
The fucking moon?
You can make money off of people going crazy.
Huh. Yeah, I guess so.
Oarsman, you say, yeah?
Yeah. Tomorrow morning, I'll be looking for you.
And then I'm gonna leave.
Sure.
And I'm gonna try to find my way to the my entrance to the abbey.
Like via the catacombs.
Yeah. Cool. And I'm gonna take so many twists and turns.
Ah, I love it.
Anybody following me. I'm gonna try to change a time or two.
Got it.
And when I get there, do I get there?
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna sit in the dark.
Cool.
The pitch black. That now I know this is pitch black.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
And even, and I'm just gonna wait and look for anything that may be following me.
Cool. So as you sit there, this darkness and that dank smell enveloping you, you'd waited for a moment where there's a slip in traffic and it doesn't take more than a few seconds for you to move the stone, step in and replace it. But as you sit, now getting used to this ability, this skill, this blind sight, you feel the hair on the back of your neck start to stand up. And for a brief moment, you think it's perhaps some sort of indication of danger to come. Your senses heightened. Before you hear his voice. You did well, boy. My little Riet. There's no need to spill blood when blood can be saved. When words can do the answering. This new moon will change much for us all. And as this sort of voice fills you, we'll call it a session.
Yeah. Oof.
Fun times, bro. Dude, you killed that, Bri. I was so nervous for you, and in my head, I'm like, there's no way. Because he knows Misty Step, and so I thought he was going to come and then try to charm you. Man, I love that. That was such a great play, dude. Like, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was that was terrifying. Oh,
good.
Man.
Good.
I mean, it was just like one of those things, like, that was such a cool opening, because, I mean, I think when Coleridge put the knives up to the guy's throat, he's bluffing, but he didn't know he was bluffing, really.
Dude,
until, like, it was time, and then he just said, no.
Like, the whole purpose of him, well, I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, I mean, like, he was going to see if you would kill for him, and it was amazing to me. I love that jest and that physicality. I was like, oh fuck, he's going for it, because I'm still getting to know Coleridge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was just so beautiful, dude. And the last thing I expected, you took so long thinking through that I didn't know if you heard me, you know what I mean? I was like,
yeah, no, I was like a stunned shock. I was just in there. I was just like, oh fuck. And I think he was probably in the same place. And when you egged him on, did you hear me, boy, or whatever you said, it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Pretty cool exit line too.
No, for sure, dude.
But it would have been cool to sneak him on the ship in a coffin, though.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, that would have led to its own fucking, beautiful sitch.
I think I don't know. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that was fun time.
I have no idea what I'm gonna do with Bomb, but
yeah, sure. Well, you've got options, man.
Just starts saying shit. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I know, he's like kind of Trump in that sense, right? Where he's like, here are the facts. Here you go. Yeah. Whatever I need in this moment. I love it. Minus the Trump reference. It is the.
It was a con, right?
It absolutely was a con. It absolutely was a con. Although there are some. I mean, he's basically like, he's. Well, yeah. You don't know. Your instincts are that it's a con.
Yeah.
But that was so fun, dude. So.
Good.
So anyway, welcome to level 3.
Hey!
Congratulations, you made it.
Okay.
If you have a D8, I think we should go ahead and roll it at advantage, my bro.
Oh, I got 5 of them sitting here.
Yeah, you do. Let's go. Man, that was such a cool use of that spell. They had 15 hit points collectively.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
And but in my head, I was like, that's still could be close.
Yeah. All right. Well, now this is the thing. Do you roll the one that rolled the 8, or do you roll the one that rolled the 2?
Oh, well, you can roll at advantage and take the higher since we're doing this solo. So you can take both of them and roll it. Yeah, I like that rule for us in this.
That's a good roll, yeah. Hit points for advantage. Okay. 5.
5, okay. Cool.
For me, rolling hit points, that's pretty good.
Exactly. No.
Notoriously. I did calculate what Glorious, like if she averaged it, she'd be like...
you can't ever do that. You can't ever. I know that feeling way too well. I'm pretty sure Maedra at level, whatever we were, like 14, was somehow exactly on the average. Because they would be like, cool. I'd be rolling 8, and then 2, and then 7, and then 3. You know what I mean? It was just like constant.
5 is so good. Yeah,
5's a lot, man.
That's good. Well, that is the average. I mean, that's what they say is the average, but it's like 4 is really the average. Should be a 4. Anyway, dude, that was amazing. Thank you so much.
No, I had a blast, buddy. Had an absolute blast. Okay, well, we're going to get out of here, but we'll be back next week. Everyone. Yeah, thanks for coming through. We love y'all. Anybody watching on the VOD, y'all rock. If you made it this far, damn. No, I love you guys. Brian, anything you want to say before we get out of here, man?
No, just thank you. That was a fun session, John. Thank you.
A pleasure, dude.
Loving doing this. Yeah.
Same. It's just a treat. Okay, guys, we'll be back. I'm doing Operation Hogtie tomorrow, where I'm playing Red Dead and I'm looking for the character I voiced in game. So come through if you're around, and otherwise we'll catch you next week. Take care of each other and yourselves, baby.